Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for the Season 2 finale of Crypto City. I appreciate all of you being here tonight and for all of the episodes that you've joined us. This has been a great season. We've had a lot of amazing guests on, and we've given out a lot of really good resources. Tonight, we're just going to do a quick recap of every episode and give you guys a little touch as to what we discussed. If you are interested in rewatching any of the episodes, or if you missed one and it's of interest to you tonight, you can always go onto our YouTube channel, and at the end, we'll give you all the contacts, and you can go on and rewatch those episodes on YouTube. They're out there for everyone. Um, so let's get started. Our first episode that we had here in season 2 was episode 22 with Token Gamer, also Jerome from Blockchain University. And Jerome is, he has been active in crypto. That was his big thing to start. He used to have Crypto Mondays over in AltSpace. And then he got really into VR and mixed reality. So he has been down in Miami, and he has been putting together these workshops at local places where he brings the headset in, and people get to come and check out VR. So he's kind of giving a taste of VR to the public. He's had a lot of people who've really enjoyed it and gotten into it with him. Now he has some members of the community down there who are helping him set up community activities where they do like scavenger hunts and different things where they mix both, VR and IRL together to give people a great experience. He's also really into putting together game nights, and he's in the process of putting together some programs where people might be able to jump around and do a scavenger hunt across different metaverses. So it might start in Spatial, go over to VR Chat, into Horizon Worlds, and so on, and check out a bunch of different places. And by doing this, it gives the user the opportunity to check out a bunch of different metaverse platforms, and at the same time kind of keep the camaraderie and the fun of playing games out there for everybody involved. So we're very grateful to him for bringing VR out into the mainstream. On our next episode, we gave out some Web3 resources. So we pretty much focused just on Web3. I apologize, my voice is a little scratchy tonight. And we brought up some things for people who were new to Web3 to kind of go in and get a description of what Web3 is and how you could dabble around in it and see if it's something you might be interested in moving forward a little deeper with. So MetaMask, which is mostly known for being a wallet program, they have an amazing Web3 101 program that is free on their website. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go on and take a look. It's pretty amazing. You can get in there and you can go through step by step, learn all these different parts about Web3. It gives you descriptions, definitions, examples, and it gives you a full little training course. Web3.career is a website that's out there for professionals and individuals who are learning to get, or who want to learn to get into jobs. The cool thing about it is not only does it give you job descriptions, so you can learn what exactly the requirements are for specific Web3 employment projects, but you can also get a good rounded understanding of what it means to work in Web3. That website, it's a good starter for people who are like, I really want to do more with this. Where do I need to go? Go see what they're requiring and then go take some classes in what it is you need to learn. Coursera, great website. Most of the stuff on there has a free option. There's also upgrade options that you can pay for and learn a lot of these different Web3 programs. So check that one out as well. It actually is going to come up again later on in some of our other slides here tonight because it is a great community program to learn a lot of different things, not just Web3. Blockchain basics. At the base of everything we do here is the blockchain. So this is a great website to go to and learn a little bit of the foundation that is at the base of everything Web3. And then XRP Ledger, another wallet program that has put together a training course on their website for people to check out and learn a little bit more. This one is great because it's a bunch of little modules, and within these modules, you can pick and choose different things to learn, to follow up on. You can kind of go at your own pace and check all of it out. Great website, great resource. Our next episode featured one of our favorite audience members and a huge fan favorite within the metaverse, DJ Marcus. He's here tonight. Thank you for being here, DJ Marcus. So DJ Marcus J, he is a DJ in real life. He came in, talked with us a little bit about his streaming that he does in a bunch of different platforms. You know, he's on Tribe, he's in Twitch, Kick, bunch of different platforms. But one of the things he does is he goes, across a bunch of different platforms within here to bring people together. He's got his block party world. He's in there hosting, doing the DJing for events that people are hosting. People are hiring him to come in. He's a lively DJ, but he has taken an interest in world building, and that is pretty amazing to go from one extreme to another. He's learned across multiple platforms, gone in and learned Unity, but he's had a lot of help from the community. And he talked to us about how, ask people for help. Come in, talk to people within here. He's talked to other world builders. He's talked to asset builders. He's talked to people like Aussie Guy, who's in the back row here, who has an amazing website with tons of resources on it. He's talked to a lot of different people to get help, and he has grown immensely. And actually, this week on Wednesday night, he has an incredible concert that he is throwing over in VR chat, hosted by his radio station, Mr. Block Party. And he's got a whole bunch of people from our community coming in to perform. So talk about starting out in one aspect and then bringing a broad array of different things to the platforms for all the community to come together and enjoy. So DJ Marcus J, thank you for coming on and being a guest, and thank you for bringing everyone together with all these different worlds that you're doing and all the cool things that you're incorporating in your world. If you're not signed up yet to come on Wednesday night, go over to VR chat, follow his group, and make sure you show up. He's got all these interactables in his world. You want to check him out. There's such cool things. There's zip lines. There's hot air balloons. Come check it out. And also, obviously, check out the talent. Our next episode, we had episode 25, AI generators, probably one of the more fun things that I was able to share resources on. AI is just so interesting, and it's such a great creative way for us to, kind of explore Web3 and creation, but also to express yourself. Have an idea in your head, ask an AI generator to bring something out. We talked about a bunch of different ones. Blockade Labs was great for going in and telling it imagery that you would like to see, and it would generate amazing skyboxes that you could use in your worlds. OpenAI, everybody's kind of heard of ChatGPT by now. We've talked about it on the show multiple times, but you can go in there and you can put input into ChatGPT and have it spit stuff back to you, whether it's a story, a letter, music, poems, all these different creative things, that whatever is in your head, you can have it come out into a usable document. It's also an amazing thing where you can ask it questions and it can go and retrieve answers for you. So that is one that we played around with a little bit here on the show. I've encouraged all of you to go play around with it. There's now an app that you can put on your phone for it as well. So OpenAI, they're doing amazing things. They're also further down on the list here with DALL-E. DALL-E is an amazing generative art program that you can go in and give it some parameters. You can say, hey, I'd like to see a panda bear in a tree above a beach eating an ice cream cone, and, Thomas Kincaid style, and it will generate that for you. Sometimes it's really close to what you wanted. Sometimes it may be a little further off, but you can take what it gave you and then you can refine it. You can go back in and say, okay, it was almost what I wanted, but I also wanted to see sailboats off in the distance, and I wanted it to be at nighttime. So you add in those parameters and it regenerates some more imagery for you. And you can keep doing that over and over again. Now, Dolly is free, but you get some tokens basically that you can use. It's only a limited amount, and then it regenerates new ones for you each month. You can also upgrade and pay for a version so that you can have another program where you can go in and have as much usage as you'd like. Brandmark was a program that I showed you guys that helped you generate logos. So for any of you who are thinking of starting up a company, even if it's like a small project company that you're going to do in here because you just want to be a world builder, you can give it some parameters of what you want your logo to look like. You can give it color schemes. You can give it specific words, types of fonts you like. Maybe you would like it to be a scripted font and you'd like it to be, blue and green, and you'd like it to incorporate, uh, I don't know, the moon and stars. And it will generate out a logo for you that it thinks meets your parameters. Once again, you might get something that looks exactly like what you want, and you might not. You might end up getting something that you say, that's totally in the wrong direction. How can I refine this? And you could go back in and you would say, okay, I need it to be a blue moon on top of a black background with pink stars. And it will regenerate it again for you. So a lot of working with AI generators is giving an idea to what you want and then refining it back down from there. So it's not that you're going to get exactly what you want the first time, but it's going to give you a direction to go in, and then you can work with it from there, kind of massage out the kinks of what you actually want. Excel Formula Bot was the last one that I gave you on that episode, and that was more for businesses. You could go in there and you could tell exactly what you wanted an Excel formula to do, and it would create the formula for you. Now, a lot of people in business use Excel every day for spreadsheets, finances, maybe CSV files for all different things. But a lot of times when you have your data dumped into an Excel spreadsheet, you need to have the spreadsheet work for you. You want to work smarter, not harder. So if you have figures that you've dumped in there, maybe you want to sit there and give it a formula that says, for every odd number that's above $50, I need you to move it over into, give me a total of that over here in this cell. Or it might be something where you say, I need to tally how many of these orders were, over $100. So you can kind of figure out if it was a good month or not. And you can ask it to generate what that formula would be for you, and then plop it into your spreadsheet, and now the work is done for you. So you don't have to sit there and Google search, how do I create a formula that does this? So it can be very helpful in business. Our next episode, we had James from Utopia VR came on. And that was another really exciting, great episode. James has created a new metaverse platform. It was an idea that he had way back before, when we were all still in alt space. It was an idea that he was playing around with and working on. When we found out that alt space was going away, he brought this to the forefront and said, you know what, we need to speed up the process of this metaverse platform. And so I'm going to get my development team together. And he had a couple of focus groups asking everybody, what do you want? What do you want to see in this platform? And he started incorporating things in there and taking the feedback from the community. I've been over there many times. I know DJ Marcus has been there. A few other people in here have come over and visited the platform. And, he has put together, with the the thought of having an interactive community where it literally feels like you are in a world and they're all going to intersect at some point. He has put in worlds in there where you can have like nightclubs for events. He has home spaces. He has event platforms where you could go in and do something similar to this. And he's got games in there now. He's got interactables. And he's working each time to kind of build it up. He's put out a ton of new updates since he started it. He's worked really hard on the sound quality in there. He has had radio station, DJ Marcus, he has a radio station embedded in there. There's a lot of different cool things that James is trying to put in there. And one of the best things about James is he's listening. He's listening to what the audience says they need help with. And what they say, I think it would be really cool if the world could do this. He goes back to his developers and says, hey, this is what the people are asking for. Can we do it? And they try to make it happen. I think he has done an incredible job from day one till now of incorporating a ton of different things in there and trying to elevate it to a higher level. Now it's still, in its infancy, but it's growing by the day. And I think a year from now, this is going to be one of the main platforms like Horizon and Spatial that people are in. Our next episode, we had Pixel Addict on, and he showed us how to create NFTs with Third Web and Polygon. So Third Web is a website that you can go on and generate NFTs at no cost, and it functions on Polygon. And he went in and he created for our show an NFT for Crypto City. Really cool. He showed us the steps of how to write the smart contract in the back. And, it was a lot to embrace in one episode. He did the whole process start to finish. There was a little bit of a glitch in there where the program kind of hung up for a bit. But if you missed the episode, go back if you're interested in NFTs and watch it on YouTube because there was a lot he covered in there, far too much for us to regurgitate all of it back to you. But he did talk a little bit too about generative NFTs and how you can go in and you can create, one NFT and have, hundreds of iterations of it and upload that for the public so each one can have one that's slightly different. Or you could have one NFT that you put out there and you say it's a limited edition and there's only going to be X amount of them that are going to be out there for the public. And he talked about how to put the parameters in the back end of it so that you could go in there and say, if the person downloads this, put an expiration date in there for how long this is available, how many are there, and how people can get it. So the techniques that he did in this particular platform that he was doing are very similar in other platforms. They're not all exactly the same, but they are quite similar. So once you learn the basics of what you're going to do with an NFT, and we kind of talked about this on another episode with NFTs, first thing is, who's your audience? What do you want to create? What platform are you going to create it on? What is going to be your mode of distribution for this? And, it's all of this is like the back end because creating a picture and uploading it or creating a music file and uploading it, that part's easy. It's determining how you want to get this out there to the masses and what your end game is for it. Sometimes it's simply sharing a picture that people are going to download and keep. And sometimes it's going to have utility behind it. And if you have this NFT, you are going to gain access to something else. Or if you have this NFT, you're going to be whitelisted to get information before everybody else. So there are definitely some really cool things that you can do within the NFT world. And, we've done quite a few different episodes with NFTs on, our previous Crypto City episodes in season 1. So definitely check them back out again in YouTube. Episode 28, we had Rollo on from the Music District. And Rollo's platform for what he's doing is very different than what we're used to. But he's, been in somebody that's been in our audience before. And I thought it was really interesting the way he is trying to distribute music and streaming across all metaverse platforms, or as many as he can get into. So he sets up streaming that can come into, whether it's VR chat, spatial, Horizon, well, Horizon's still a little challenging because streaming is not easy over there. But he is definitely trying to get music pushed out into all these different platforms. And that way he can help promote both musicians and DJs and other music professionals into VR and across the metaverse platforms so that different people visiting the metaverse can get exposed to all these different artists. And, he talked about the multiverse and going into that platform and pushing out through there. And these live streams that he's putting out there, it's pretty cool because he can also pre-record and just share, different streams from previous shows. I know he's working on quite a few things right now. He's working on trying to, go out there and find new musicians. So any of you who might be musicians or might be DJs who are looking to connect with him to try and get your stuff pushed out, go on and check out the Music District on Instagram. If you're not exactly sure where to find him, go back into our Discord. There were links there. You can also go onto YouTube, watch that episode, and you'll see all of his information there. And he did talk about where he can be found. So he's definitely, a good resource. And once again, the one thing I love about these people that are coming on to the show and that are talking with us, they are all about promoting resources and opportunities for the community. Everyone is trying to bring the community together and help them. And that's what our show is all about. So it makes me happy to bring these people together on this show and to share with all of you things that A, might be of interest of you, B, might be a resource for you to move forward with the different things you're trying to do in your metaverse VR, career, or just your experience and enhancing everyone else's. And that leads us to our next guest that we had on here. We had Troy, who's in our audience right now. Welcome back, Troy, from Red Hector Art. And these are just beautiful art galleries that Troy makes here in Spatial. It was actually one of the first people to tell me about, putting together art galleries in Spatial. We actually took a little tour over to see them at the end of the show that we did. It's Spatial has a great capacity for throwing together galleries, whether they're NFTs or artwork that you've done, photography. It's a great platform for that. They have some pre-made galleries that you can use, and it's easy to populate your imagery in there. Many of us here were part of AltSpace before we were here in Spatial. And one of the things that was very challenging when you were setting up a gallery over there was trying to sit there and align all of the images up on the walls. I know I had a gallery over there playing with the axes and setting up, the X, Y's, and Z's and to make sure that they all lined up. It was a project and you have to sit there and do it with each one. So Spatial has streamlined that and made it a lot easier. And Troy was also telling us about how he's using Kyber to do AI videos now, which is something that, again, back to AI, really interesting, a lot of fun. So you do a lot of AI artwork in Troy's galleries. You see some beautiful work over there. And, we also talked about the potential of, having chatbots as companions. So if you missed that episode, go back and watch it again because it was pretty cool to hear about the fact that, you can have a friend in here that's a chatbot AI, that you go in and you tell it all the things that you like and that are your interests, and they can communicate with you and have, they can be your friend. And during COVID, when everyone was stuck inside, I would imagine that was a pretty amazing thing to be able to have, someone to communicate with, even if it was an AI bot. It was actually really cool to have somebody to talk to. And then, if I remember correctly, Troy was saying that, some time had passed and, revisited with the AI bot and it still knew what type of music he liked, the things that he had favorited as, his things. There was still that communication there, which is pretty cool. So thank you, Troy, for coming on and sharing that with us as well. Our next guest was African Princess, and she's just quite the wonder. She has done so many different things within the metaverse. Actually very similar to what we were talking about with DJ Marcus. African Princess, came in and saw what was going on in here, and she had the background and the knowledge of certain things and started, world building because she decided this is what I would like to see here in the metaverse and creating some worlds. And then she started bringing people around on world tours so that they could check out the different things that, she had created, which she created a lot of them actually with her husband, who she met here in the metaverse, which is actually really so cool. Meeting somebody here in the metaverse, meeting them in real life, having it become a true connection, and then actually working together with that person to keep expanding the metaverse and creating more things in here. She's now gone multi-platform where, she started out doing some things in alt space. She's done things here in spatial and VR chat. She's spreading herself out across these places. And she's a great community helper. She's planning on doing, she's done, after this episode that we had her on, she actually did another tour and she's planning on doing more. But what's even better is she's going to plan on doing some training for the community. So she's supposed to come out with some of that in July, which is just a week away. So definitely keep your eyes and ears open for that. If you're not following her on Instagram, go follow her because she puts stuff out there. And if she's going to have training that's available for people to learn some more things, even if it's, at the basic levels, higher levels, whatever it is, she will be there and it will be great. So you definitely want to go check that out. And our next episode that we had on, we had some learning resources that we did. There's a lot of them here. And, it was a little bit of everything. It was Web3, it was crypto, it was NFTs, and it was AI. We touched on a little bit of everything. I mean, Coinbase and Ledger, everybody knows them to be, related to crypto. And, Coinbase is great because it's well known, it's trusted, and they have lots of very high level basics for you to go in there and check it out. Learn a little bit about the basics of crypto, how it works, the blockchain, all of that stuff is on the Coinbase website. And we already talked about XRP Ledger earlier on one of the other slides because they have an amazing Web3 training, but they also have stuff on there about crypto too, because, Ledger after all is a wallet. And they have a lot of really good things in there for people who are newbies to the crypto world or people who don't even want to invest in crypto, but they just want to understand it better. You want to be able to communicate with people when they're talking about it, and you just want to have a little bit of knowledge. Go in, check it out. Skills You Need website. And I mentioned on this one, although it had stuff on there about crypto, and it might have a little bit on Web3 as well, there are a lot of life skills in that website. You might go on there and find out some things that you can use for your work in real life. You might find some things out that you could do around your house that might be of interest or hobbies that you have. It's a great website that covers a lot of different things. NerdWallet, again, a trusted crypto website that can give you a little bit of information. And of course, MetaMask. MetaMask is kind of a cross between there's crypto, there's Web3, little bit of everything in there, another very good trusted website. And, one of the things that we talked about, and we've said it in several episodes, We always say, do your own research. Whatever you're interested in, go out there, take these resources I'm giving you, take resources other people give you, check them out, but never just go on what people tell you. Go and research it for yourself, because what might be the perfect fit for me might not be a good fit for you. And when it comes to things with crypto, remember, it is a risk, just like being in the stock market. There are some incredible benefits to being in crypto. The ability to, use your money the way you want to use your money, deregulated, it's great, decentralized, but there are definitely things you need to know. We talked about the fact that you need to be careful with, taxes. You still have to pay taxes if you have a gain that you take out. There's things that you just need to watch out for. So with crypto, do your homework. Um, Alchemy is a great resource for many different things. It's similar to like when I talked about skills you need. Alchemy takes software and programs that are out there and they make it easier for you to understand and to, do some like samples, check things out, see some examples. Maybe sometimes they have little tests on different things so you can learn a skill, go check it out, and kind of try it out and see how to apply it. Um, Zen Academy, same type of thing, a lot of Web3 stuff that you're going to find on there, a lot of education in different platforms, but Web3, they do have a great program on there. Same with Web3 Academy. Class Central has several different resources different things that it crosses over in there, Web3, NFTs, you're going to get a little bit of a bunch of different things in there. All of these programs that are on here have some free things on there. Some of them also have things for pay that you have to do in order to get a certificate, or in order to, get to a different level. Some of them have things you have to pay for. Nifty Kit, great way to get started in NFTs. There's some examples in there. There are some things to start you step by step to go in, create the NFT, upload it. Just like we said earlier, all the NFT stuff is going to be relatively similar. They're all going to have the same basic concept behind it. What are you creating? Who are you pushing it out to? And, what platform are you putting it on? And what is going to be the mode of purchasing it? Udemy and Coursera, we talked about Coursera earlier. Both of them are more training programs across different platforms. A lot of NFT stuff you can find on there. Microsoft, we talked about GitHub, and there's some great AI stuff on there, that generative stuff that you can look at, along with OpenAI, which we talked about earlier. All of these, anybody in here can go on and check out and get some great knowledge from. If you want the links for these, go back in and, you can go into our Discord. The information is there and you can click on them and you can go to all these places. So definitely go there. You can also go into YouTube and see, the actual live episode. You can see a little bit more of examples of what the web pages look like. And we did click on a few things in there so you could kind of get a feel for how to navigate. And that brings us to our last episode that we had with MetaLink. So MetaLink is an amazing app. Prince, who's not here tonight, always here in our audience to share, to listen to what we have to offer. He talked to me one day. He's like, hey, you're hosting this event. How are you promoting it? And I was like, well, I put it on all the social media. He's like, well, I've got an app that is meant for event hosts and event goers. You put the information up there, they download the app, and they can see all the things that fall within their favorite type of genre within this app across all the platforms. So if you put something in there like this Crypto City and Spatial, and people, somebody who's over in VR chat is looking on this app and they were looking for something to do with Web3 or crypto, and they put it in and they're going to be like, oh, what is this over in Spatial? Now they might come over to Spatial to check something out and they'll learn a new metaverse platform. And within the actual app, you can put links for things like Spatial where you can actually access it on your phone. So it's a great app. If any of you are actually hosting events, I suggest you go get it. And, I wouldn't say stop advertising on social media and everything else. Of course not. You want to push it out to as many platforms as possible. And although MetaLink is still kind of, early in its stages, it needs your support in order to grow. So let's support our community member and download the app. It's free and, check it out. It's going to be similar to if any of you have ever used Eventbrite. Eventbrite's something you have to pay for to promote your apps. But if you're on the end user end, you can go into Eventbrite and just search and try to find things. The only difference is now you're going to find free events that you can go to. You don't have to pay to use the app, and you don't have to pay to host your event on the app. So it's great. Wonderful thing for everyone. And, that brings us to tonight. So here we are tonight. We're going to put up on the slides now. You should have the last slide is our socials. You have, our Instagram, which we post on regularly, our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and Discord. All of these, if you're not following them, jump on and follow them. I don't flood you. I don't give you tons of stuff in there, so I'm not clogging up your feed. But where we're going to have a little hiatus over the summer, I am going to push stuff out there periodically, a couple times a week. I'm going to throw stuff up there. It will be things that are in the news in any of the Web3, crypto, AI, spatial, AI or NFT news. If you are interested in being on the show next season, reach out to me on Discord or Instagram and say, hey, I want to be on the show and this is why. This is what I'm doing for the community. If you have an idea of something, you feel like, what, it would be really cool if you could host a show that teaches people how to do this. Let me know because I'm learning right alongside all of you. And that's the one thing that I've always stressed. We're all learning here together. I know some of you out in the audience right now are super high level coming in here and you're learning the basics. I know some of you are super deep in there and have some incredible skills. Come on and share them with us. We might not be able to bring everybody into the high tech end, but at the other end of it, we want to hear what you have to say and what you have to offer us. So, please feel free to share with us. Also, there is a spot on our Discord that you can go on there and share any projects that you might be working on. I want to see what experiences you have. If you've gone to a certain world that you think is just amazing and everybody should check it out, put it in the Discord for everybody. Or if you want to privately DM me and tell me, I'll put it on for you if you're not comfortable doing it. But that's what it's there for the community to share. So please feel free, come on in and check it out. And all of you who've been here every week, there's some of you who have been here week after week. I appreciate all of you being here, helping us out. I appreciate all of the support, the people here who have, reshared my Instagram posts, my Facebook posts to try and get the word out there to the community. I see new faces each week. And maybe some of them are stumbling upon us as they come into Spatial. Other people, it's because of your sharing and spreading a word of mouth, and I appreciate it. And I really need to take time right now to thank my team, the people who have helped me week after week to help produce this show. I love this show. I do this because I want to help the community. It means a lot to me to be able to share this with all of you. And without my team, Blue Moon, who has helped me every single week with the logistics. She does the screen shares and does the slides for us. She helps moderate the audience to keep, the audience clear from any disruptions. We have Sherwin, who comes in each week and does the photography for us and helps out also with moderation. We have Loudfire, and she's been here. She jumped in and helped us without even being asked. She saw a need and she said, you know what? I'm here to support you. I'm going to jump in and help moderate the audience because you guys need the support. And I appreciate that very much. And Wine Chick Kim, who's not here right now, she's been doing the same thing for the last few weeks. We have Atessa out in the audience who has very graciously reached out to Spatial for us when we've been having some challenges. You know, the audience here is showing me that they support our efforts and that they enjoy what we're doing because they're helping us produce this show every week. So a very heartfelt thank you to all of you. We are planning on coming back in for season 3 in September. I hope that all of you will be there. I'm not sure yet if this show will be in Spatial, or I'm hopefully moving cross-platform also over to VR chat. Maybe we'll be jumping back and forth. Maybe it will just be in VR chat, but stay tuned because we will be posting that information in our socials. And I will be staying in touch with as many of you who have started following to push information out to you as I see, you know, there's stuff that's worth sharing with you. You know, to me, it's really incredible to be able to give you guys all of this information. You know, we did have an episode where the sound was not very good, and that episode did not get put up on to YouTube, and I apologize for that. There was some great information that we had in it, but it was unfortunately the sound didn't come out so good. But other than that, you should be able to go on there and see everything on there. Cyber Shay, who's here in our audience, she is, you know, an amazing community member. She has come on before and shared with us all that she learned from going and, you know, taking training here in the metaverse, which was pretty incredible. You know, each one of you brings something to the table. I've just recently met Raf, and, you know, Raf is building worlds right now. He's made some beautiful worlds here in Spatial. And if you're looking for a world, you know, he's trying to build his portfolio. So reach out to him and have him show you what he's doing. His worlds are really pretty. You know, that he's done some like ones that look like they could be for an event, but outdoors. There's, you know, a beautiful meditation world. They have a lot of thought and, you know, thoughtfulness put into them. So check it out. And if you're a world builder, feel free to talk to other world builders because we make the metaverse better by sharing with each other. You know, not everybody builds the same style, so don't feel like you're competing with each other. Help each other and build each other up. It's a great community out there. A lot of people in the metaverse work together. You know, bring each other together, and together let's make this metaverse an even bigger and better place that people outside of VR, we can tell them about it and bring them in and show them the coolest things, you know? And if you only build in one platform, go check out the other platforms because as we learned when AltSpace closed, when if you are all in one platform and that platform changes, you're left with nothing. So check everything out and learn all of them. You don't have to do things in all of them, but just become familiar with them so that you have an idea. And later on down the road, maybe you'll expand whatever it is that you're doing, if it's NFT galleries, building worlds, hosting events, you know, doing concerts, any of that. Maybe you're going to do it in multiple places down the road. So check everything out, build up the community, and please come back next season, check out what we have to offer, and stay in touch with me in the off season, and I welcome all of your feedback. So thank you, everybody, and I appreciate you all. I'll see you next season.